Hello and a very good evening. You're watching the news at 6 on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Here are the headlines. Day after Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the country's longest road tunnel in Kashmir, Pakistan violates the ceasefire along the line of control. Heavy mortar shelling triggers panic. Finance ministers from 7 South Asian countries unveil vision document for economic growth. Finance Minister Arvind says enhanced cooperation will sustain sub-regional growth in the region. Colourful shows, competitive events mark the occasion of the 55th Rajya Sabha Day. Upper House of Parliament was first constituted on the 3rd of April 1952. And torrential rains caused 3 rivers to overflow, sending torrents of mud into Mocoa in southwest Colombia. 254 people killed in devastating mudslides, many reported missing. Well, Kashmir remained tense as Pakistan violated the ceasefire in the valley today. This comes just a day after a Jawan was killed in a grenade attack in Srinagar. Pakistani forces began indiscriminate firing at the Indian posts along the line of control in Poonch sector in the 4th such transgression in Poonch sector this month. Pakistan violated the ceasefire along the line of control in Poonch district of Jammu and Kashmir on Monday. Pakistani army initiated indiscriminate firing with small arms, automatics and lobbed mortar shells at 9:30 a.m. on forward posts and civilian areas, prompting retaliation by the Indian army.
The Pakistan army is firing mortars, automatics and small arms and has resorted to an unprovoked, uncalled for ceasefire violation. A befitting reply has been given by the Indian army.
The heavy mortar shelling triggered panic among people living near the border.
पाकिस्तान से ऐसी फायरिंग कर रही है, हम बाहर नहीं निकल सकते, बहुत जोर से फायरिंग कर रही है दोनों तरफ. हमारे इंडिया के फौज जवाब दे रहे हैं.
In another attack, 3 CRPF personnel have been injured in firing on their convoy near Pathan Chowk area.
Companies were coming from Jammu to Srinagar for election duties, and these vehicles were fired upon by some militants at Sempura. This is the sensitive time otherwise, because during election separatists have given the boycott call, and militants have also stepped up their activity. So we all are on high alert.
The ceasefire violation comes a day after a police Jawan, Constable Shamsuddin, was killed in a grenade attack on Sunday evening in Nauhata area of Srinagar. 15 Jawans, including police and CRPF personnel, were injured in the attack. The attack comes on a day when Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited the state to inaugurate the Nashri Chennani tunnel on the Jammu-Srinagar highway.
समय पर इस प्रकार के तो प्रमाण उपलब्ध होते रहे हैं कि पाकिस्तान और इस्लामाबाद की सरकार भारत की धरती पर और विशेषकर जम्मू कश्मीर में होने वाले आतंकवाद को बढ़ावा भी देता है, प्रोत्साहन भी देता है. मैं मात्र ये कहूँगा कि जैसे 2 ही रोज पहले आदरणीय गृह मंत्री श्री राजनाथ सिंह जी ने कहा था कि सीमा पर यदि कोई उल्लंघन होता है तो वहां के अर्धसेना बलों को, सेनाओं को ये स्वतंत्रता दी गई है कि वो मौके पर जो उचित कार्रवाई समझें वो करें.
In a major crackdown, the Jammu and Kashmir police seized 14 mobile phones from a jail in Baramulla district of Kashmir. The mobile phones were allegedly used by inmates to communicate with Pakistan contacts via WhatsApp.
मोबाइल मिले हैं, ये सही है और उस पर FIR दी गई है और हमारी साइबर फोरेंसिक जो टीम है उसको एग्जामिन कर रही है.
Just 4 days back, Home Minister Rajnath Singh had said in Parliament that Pakistan is using social media to incite youth and foment terror in the Kashmir Valley. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television. Well, police arrested an army Jawan from the Srinagar airport today after 2 grenades were recovered from him during search at the main gate of the airport. Bhupal Mukhya of the 17 Jammu and Kashmir Rifles, who is posted at Uri, was travelling to Delhi when he was taken into custody with 2 hand grenades in his possession. Director General of Police SP Vaidya said that the Jawan was being questioned and will face action according to the law.
एयरपोर्ट पे एक आर्मी का जवान पकड़ा गया है 2 लाइव ग्रेनेड्स लेकर, उस बारे में क्या अपडेट है?
हाँ, वो सही है, उसके खिलाफ FIR दी गई है और उसको देखा जा रहा है, कानूनी कार्रवाई की जाएगी।
Well, on Sunday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi dedicated the country's longest tunnel to the nation. The Chennai-Nashri tunnel on Jammu-Srinagar National Highway covers over 9 kilometers. Later, in Udhampur, the Prime Minister appealed to the youth of Kashmir to assist the state government in transforming Jammu and Kashmir. Here's more.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the country's longest road tunnel linking the Kashmir Valley with Jammu on Sunday. The all-weather Chineni-Nashri tunnel on Jammu-Srinagar National Highway covers 9.2 kilometers connecting Chineni in Udhampur district with Nashri in Ramban district. It cuts distance between Jammu and Kashmir by 30 kilometers and travel time by 2 hours to save fuel worth 27 lakh rupees per day. Located at an altitude of nearly 4,000 feet, the tunnel is built in a record time of 5.5 years at a cost of 3,720 crore rupees.
ये टनल के कारण रोज 27 लाख रुपए का तेल बचने वाला है। इस टनल के कारण जो प्रवास है वो 2 घंटे से कम होने वाला है। पूरे इसमें हम जम्मू कश्मीर में 13 टनल बना रहे हैं और मुझे खुशी है कि इस रोड पर के अभी 5 टनल पूरी हुई है।
कि आज जिस टनल का उन्होंने आगाज किया है, इससे न सिर्फ हमारा सफर कम होगा बल्कि हमारे लोगों की दूरियां भी काफी हद तक दूर हो जाएंगी।
Later, addressing a public meeting in Udhampur, the Prime Minister said 40 years of bloodshed in Jammu and Kashmir has not benefited anyone. In a veiled attack against Pakistan, he said the neighbor hasn't been able to take care of itself, while appealing to the Kashmiri youth to choose between terrorism and tourism.
एक तरफ कुछ भटके हुए नौजवान पत्थर मारने में लगे हैं, दूसरी तरफ उसी कश्मीर के नौजवान पत्थर काट करके कश्मीर का भाग्य बनाने में लगे हैं। मैं घाटी के नौजवानों से कहना चाहता हूं, आपके सामने 2 रास्ते हैं जो आपके भाग्य को किस दिशा में ले जाएंगे। एक तरफ है टूरिज्म, दूसरी तरफ है टेररिज्म। हम सीमा पार के हमारे कश्मीर के हिस्से के नागरिकों को भी प्रगति करके दिखाना चाहते हैं कि देखिए कश्मीर कैसे विकसित होता है और जिन लोगों ने आप पर कब्जा जमा के बैठे हैं उन्होंने आपको कितना बर्बाद किया है, ये हम करके दिखाने वाले हैं।
Meanwhile, former Chief Minister and National Conference President Farooq Abdullah said while economic and infrastructural development was essential, the state will suffer unless a political initiative to resolve Kashmir issue was taken by the centre. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The finance ministers from 7 member countries of the South Asia Sub-Regional Economic Cooperation Programme unveiled a vision document in the national capital on Monday. The document outlines the roadmap for economic growth and connectivity in the region. Meanwhile, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley asserted that the collective vision will sustain sub-regional growth through enhanced cooperation. Here's a report.
Finance Minister Arun Jaitley launching the South Asia Sub-Regional Economic Cooperation Vision document along with Finance Ministers of Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Maldives, Nepal and Sri Lanka. Jaitley emphasized that the enhanced SASAC engagement will empower Asia in the 21st century and all countries have pledged to improve intra-regional connectivity to boost trade and tourism. With this, the region hopes to achieve $70 billion incremental GDP and 20 million jobs by 2025.
The SASAC vision, complemented by the operational plan, would help the member countries overcome the problems and challenges associated with unemployment, macroeconomic and structural vulnerabilities, access and integration, and limited investment and growth.
Myanmar joined the SASAC program as its newest and 7th member and was officially welcomed on Monday. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said Myanmar's inclusion will play a key role in linking South Asia with Southeast and East Asia.
Our policy will definitely receive a fillip with Myanmar's participation in SASAC improved access to gateway ports, particularly in Bangladesh and Myanmar, may help to unleash the latent potential of the agro and forest-based industries.
The South Asia Sub-Regional Economic Cooperation Program was set up in 2001 with 4 countries of South Asia: Bangladesh, Bhutan, India and Nepal. Since then, SASEC countries have expanded and implemented 46 regional projects worth over $9 billion in energy, transport, trade facilitation and economic corridors. The Asian Development Bank serves as the secretariat for the SASEC member countries. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
As the Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal escalates protests over the alleged tampering of the EVM machines during the assembly elections, the Election Commission hit out at the Delhi Chief Minister and asked him to introspect on the party's Punjab performance. In a strongly worded letter, the poll body said that the only alternative for verification of the results was to file a petition before the High Court. It reiterated the EVMs were tamper-proof. The AAP alleged that poll authorities in Punjab had refused to accept its demand to tally results with the paper trail audit. The party had moved the commission over reliability of the machines and the results of Punjab polls. The AAP's move comes in the wake of upcoming MCD elections on April 23rd. The Congress and other political parties had also raised concerns over the issue of EVM tampering in the recently concluded assembly elections in 5 states. BJP, however, has dismissed such allegations. Meanwhile, the Election Commission has decided to replace 430 EVM machines bought before 2006. These machines are likely to be purchased before 2018 when next general elections are slated.
दबा दिया, बीमारी का इलाज नहीं करा, जांच नहीं करी कि क्या ईवीएम के सॉफ्टवेयर से छेड़छाड़ हुई है, क्या ईवीएम के हार्डवेयर से छेड़छाड़ हुई है, किसने छेड़छाड़ करी है और ऐसा क्यों है कि एक ही राजनीतिक दल को लाभ इसका पहुंच रहा है जब भी छेड़छाड़ होती है।
ईवीएम जो है वो टेम्परिंग प्रूफ मेथड था, इसलिए इसको अडॉप्ट किया गया था, इसलिए इसको लिया गया था। और ऐसे में जो अरविंद जी या कांग्रेस पार्टी या कुछ लोग इस तरीके की बात कर रहे हैं, तो मैं उन्हें याद दिलाना चाहती हूँ कि अभी पंजाब में जो है इतने अच्छे बहुमत से कांग्रेस की पार्टी जीती है, तो क्या वो भी टेम्पर्ड था?
इलेक्शन कमीशन को संज्ञान तुरंत लेना चाहिए और आखिर क्यों बार बार इलेक्शन कमीशन के मांग के बावजूद और सुप्रीम कोर्ट के निर्देश के बावजूद वीवीपैट मशीन्स नहीं लगाई जा रही है, उसका भी उस पे भी कड़े कदम उठाने चाहिए।
Well, the protest by Tamil Nadu farmers seeking a drought relief package from the centre entered its 22nd day on Monday. The farmers have been protesting at Jantar Mantar since March 14th. They want the centre to announce a drought relief package of 40,000 crore rupees and better support price for their produce. The protesters also urged the government to waive off farmer loans. Farmers from other states have also joined the protest now. Leaders from Tamil Nadu cutting across political spectrum have offered their support to the state's farmers. Deputy Speaker of Lok Sabha M. Tambidurai met the farmers and assured them of all possible help.
We demanded 45,000 crores. We received only 1,700 crores only. Therefore, these farmers are demanding for that. That also I am going to take up the issue and see that this will be solved.
अन्ना को जो उसकी जेस है उसके सही दाम दिए जाएं, स्वामीनाथन कमीशन है जो उसकी रिपोर्ट लागू की जाए।
The state government demanded drought relief from the central government. They have demanded 21,708 crores for withered crop. So the central government not even give a single paise for that.
It's time for a short break now, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
Ghata, one of the oldest and most unique percussion instruments of southern India. You can play it not only with your fingers, but palms, wrists and heels as well. You'll be surprised, but the air inside the ghatam reverberates, creating the musical notes. 5 elements of nature, earth, water, air, fire and space make up the composition of this beautiful musical piece, which has found an apt place in most of the ancient books.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. Well, Parliament celebrated the 65th Rajya Sabha Day today. The upper house was first constituted on the 3rd of April 1952 on the basis of seats assigned to various states as shown in the 4th schedule to the constitution. Competitive events including essay writing and painting were organized for school children on the occasion at the Rajya Sabha premises today. Winners of the event will be awarded on April 18th. Puppet and magic shows were also organized for Rajya Sabha employees and their families. Well, the Supreme Court today told CBI to submit a report detailing the status of probe in the Escalates case and the charges facing former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram in the case. The Apex Court has fixed the matter for further hearing on May 2nd. The ED filed a status report in a sealed cover to a Supreme Court bench of Chief Justice J.S. Keher and Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, stating that the alleged role of former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram and his son Karthi in the Aircel Maxis case. During the brief hearing, BJP leader Subramanian Swamy told the bench that he had received a reply from the CBI stating that it was probing all angles, including the Foreign Investment Promotion Board clearance given to the deal allegedly by the then Finance Minister P. Chidambaram in 2006. In February this year, the Supreme Court had asked BJP leader Subramanian Swamy to place before it concrete evidence backing his plea for probe into Chidambaram's role into alleged breach of norms. In a setback to Himachal Chief Minister Veerbhadra Singh in the ongoing money laundering probe, the Enforcement Directorate seized a farmhouse in Delhi belonging to him. The farmhouse, valued at around 27 crore rupees, was purchased by Maple, a firm owned by Singh's son, for 6.61 crore rupees. The directorate claimed that the market price of the farmhouse was shown to be 1 crore rupees, while 5.47 crore rupees was paid in cash. The ED also said that its investigation revealed that black money was used to buy the farmhouse. The move comes just days after the CBI filed a charge sheet against Singh, accusing him of accumulating disproportionate assets during the time he served as a union minister in the UPA regime.
This is a political entity. I was before terror. I have never used before terror.
Well, tax evasion of over 5 crore rupees under the goods and services tax regime would be non-bailable offence. The police will having the authority to make an arrest without a warrant once the GST regime comes into force. The Central GST Act provides that if the amount of tax evaded or the amount of input tax credit wrongly availed or the amount of refund wrongly taken exceeds 5 crore rupees, it shall be cognizable and non-bailable. The government has set a target date of the 1st of July for rollout of the GST, which will subsume central excise, service tax, VAT and other local levies. Well, here's a look at what else is making news across the country in Nationwide. Well, a former Salwa member was allegedly killed by Naxals in Chhattisgarh's Bijapur district today. Naxals pumped bullets into him and also stabbed him with sharp-edged weapons. Police rushed to the spot and a manhunt has been launched to nab the attackers. The Supreme Court today refused to accord urgent hearing on a plea over banning tainted politicians from contesting polls. The court further said that it is a very serious issue and a bench would be set up, adding that it will not take more than 3 days in concluding the hearing. Sri Lankan Navy on Sunday arrested 6 Indians who were allegedly trying to smuggle 13.5 kilos of heroin into the country. According to the statement by the Lankan Navy, the suspected boat movement was continuously monitored by the patrolling ship and the suspects were disguised as fishermen. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj has said that Iran has released 15 Indian fishermen who were detained with their Bahraini boats last year. In a series of tweets, she thanked the Indian Embassy in Tehran, appreciating their good work for facilitating the release. But it's time for another breather on the program. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The sacred relics of Buddha were unearthed in Piprava in Uttar Pradesh. Buddhist monks from all over the world visit the National Museum to pay their respects. These charred bone fragments of Buddha are housed in the gold canopy gifted by the royal family of Thailand.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television, where at least 254 people are dead in devastating mudslides in Makua in southwest Colombia. This after unusual amount of rain swept the area on Friday. Rescuers are looking for missing people and identifying the bodies, and the death toll is expected to go up. With the climate change being labelled as reason behind the disaster, locals say this was a tragedy waiting to happen.
A search is underway for people missing in Friday's torrential rains in southern Colombia that caused 3 rivers surrounding Mocoa to overflow, sending a torrent of mud into the city. At least 254 people were killed and many more injured and homeless. A state of emergency has been declared. President Juan Manuel Santos made a television address to the nation on Sunday night after a second visit to the area.
Sé que los seres queridos que se fueron son irreemplazables. Sé que el dolor los acompañará para siempre, pero es posible mitigarlo, es posible recuperarse, es posible superar la tragedia.
Police and volunteers joined together to identify the victims. The government has announced a relief of about $6,400 each to the families of the dead and said their hospital and funeral costs will be covered.
Es muy doloroso cuando llegan los familiares y se encuentran ya con sus seres queridos en esa situación. Duele como verlos y desafortunadamente pues creo que nos falta como un poquito más de apoyo. Estamos como solos aquí, está presente siempre el cuerpo de bomberos, pero nos falta mucho apoyo.
People in the Colombian capital of Bogota were also seen donating relief supplies to those affected.
Las condiciones que en este momento hay en el área son demasiado desoladoras porque se siente demasiado la angustia, incluso sin las personas que estamos aquí no estamos aquí, o sea, no estamos allá.
President Santos previously blamed climate change for the disaster, saying Mocoa received 1/3 of its usual monthly rain in just one night, causing the rivers to burst their banks. His critics, however, say this was a tragedy that could have been avoided. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, here's a roundup of the other international news and global buzz. Former Nepal Prime Minister Babu Ram Bhattarai and several other leaders were arrested during a protest outside the Election Commission office in Kathmandu on Sunday. They were protesting against a new provision that bars them from contesting local polls on their respective party symbols. Bob Dylan finally accepted the 2016 Nobel Peace Prize for Literature more than 3 months after the award ceremony. He received the award at a private gathering in Stockholm on Sunday. He is the first singer-songwriter to receive the prestigious award. Dylan has until June 10 to provide the traditional lecture, which is the only requirement to receive the 8 million krona that comes with the prize. Failing that, he risks losing the prize money. US President Donald Trump has said that the United States will solve the nuclear threat from North Korea with or without China's help. Trump was speaking ahead of a scheduled visit from Chinese President Xi Jinping this week. Trump's comment is the latest in a series of warnings over North Korea's nuclear development. Sports news now, where PV Sindhu clinched the Indian Open Super Series title after beating world number 3 Carolina Marin in the final on Sunday. The third-seeded Indian dominated the match from the start, winning it in straight sets 21-19, 21-16. This was Sindhu's second Super Series title of the career, having earlier won the China Open in November 2016. This was also second title of the year for the 21-year-old after she won the Syed Modi International Tournament in January. With the win, the Olympic silver medalist improved her record to 4-5 against Marin. Victor Axelsen of Denmark clinched the men's singles title by beating Chinese Taipei's Tien Chen Chao in straight games.
I think it is one of the very important tournaments, and of course the Super Series. So, starting of the year with the Super Series, I won I think after China Open, this is my second one, and of course it is one of the important tournaments. I would like to thank the crowd, the spectators, because they were really very supportive, and I think home ground, so it's been really nice because the whole stadium was full cheering for both of us, so it was really very nice.
Here's a roundup of the other sports news in Sports Beat. Roger Federer continued his recent mastery against Rafael Nadal when he beat his great rival 6-3, 6-4 in the final of the Miami Open. This is Federer's fourth consecutive victory over the Spaniard. Nadal still leads their career head-to-head record at 23-14 due entirely to his superiority on clay. But Federer now leads 10-9 on hard court too. Sania Mirza and her Czech teammate Barbara Strykova lost in the women's doubles final of the Miami Open tennis tournament. The third-seeded pair was defeated by unseeded Canadian and Chinese pair of Gabriela Dabrowski and Xu Yifan 6-4, 6-3. Mirza and Strykova have been in 5 finals since they paired up last summer, winning 2 of them. Swedish rally racer Matthias Ekström won the first round of the World Rally Cross Championship in the city of Barcelona on Sunday. The 38-year-old led the race in his Audi from start to finish with German driver Timo Scheider. Norway's Andreas Bakkerud completed the podium as he finished third. Ekström has 29 championship points to Scheider's 26 and Bakkerud's 22. The second of 12 rounds will be in Portugal in 3 weeks. Well, let's now leave you with the images of the Dalai Lama having an emotional reunion in Guwahati with one of the 5 Assam Rifles guards who escorted him to India during his escape from Tibet in March 1959. I'm going to leave you with this.